Thank you guys for joining us for the return episode of the Wrightbet presented by First Star Logistics and sponsored by Betfred Sportsbook. We are live in the First Star Logistics studio right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm your host, Malik Wright, joined by my co-host. We've got Daniel, the betting man himself. We got my guy all the way from Mississippi. He likes to bet on the UFC. He likes to bet on college football. He used to run a show for my company by the name of The Facts. We've got Alex Sagini. Alex, welcome to the show, my man.
Appreciate you for having me. Can't wait to make these people some money.
Yes. And before we jump into all the bets and I hand it over to Daniel, as always, make sure you guys give this video a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. As always, we have live shows each and every single day, but this show is a show all about the moolah, all about making you some dough, all about making you some cash so you know what to do. You know what to do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give this video a like. And without further ado, Daniel, the floor is yours.
It's nice to be back, right, in the First Star Logistics studio. And this is a show for the people, right? If you're watching this, we're going to make you some money. And we also want you to join in on the conversation, right? We got a producer, Colton. He's got his own microphone. And if you guys drop down any of your questions, even drop down your own bets, we're going to be answering them throughout the show. But this show, we're going to be breaking down the NFL. We're going to be giving you the best wildcard bets, spread picks, and we maybe have a little bit of player props too. And at the end of the show, we're going to break down a couple NBA bets for you to hammer tonight. So let's start it off. We're going to go game by game. We're going to start it off in Buffalo, right? Start off a divisional game. You got the Miami Dolphins going to Buffalo. Buffalo is 10.5-point favorites right now. Right, 10.5-point favorites. Everybody's saying
it's about to change a little bit.
It's about to change. I know there's a little bit of news, but I want to start it off, Malik. Give me your quick thoughts on the game. 10.5. Who do you think's going to win this game? And yeah,
this game is interesting. You know, I think it's hard to beat a team twice. It's even harder to beat a team 3 times. You know, I think a lot of people in Buffalo are expecting them to roll against Miami because I think a lot of people in Buffalo think that they're about to take on either Teddy Bridgewater or Skylar Thompson. But I'm here to break some news for you. Tua Tagovailoa is expected to play against the Buffalo Bills. Tua Tagovailoa is expected to make his anticipated return. And let me tell you something right now. I think Tua and the Miami Dolphins can shock the Buffalo Bills. I do.
I never thought I'd hear you speak those words.
Yeah, well, it's a first time for everything.
So Tua, wow. And Alex, I'm curious to hear your thoughts, right? 10.5-point favorites. I agree with you, Malik. I agree with you. Me personally, I think I'm going to stay away from this spread because I think Tua has, the ability, if he's healthy, to have that offense rolling. We already saw what they did in cold weather. But Alex, give me your thoughts. 10.5-point spread. Who do you got?
Look, every single year in this wild card round, there's these big spreads by the 2 versus the 7 seed. And every single year, everyone who's betting, the majority of people get burned by betting on the underdog because it's so many points in the playoffs, right? Well, I'm here to tell you, I think that the Buffalo Bills will keep it rolling. I don't think the Dolphins are as good, even with Tua Tagovailoa, to beat this Bills team that seems honestly like a team of destiny right now. I don't know if they can be stopped, especially in Buffalo. I know they played a close game in Buffalo not too long ago, but I feel that the Bills will win handedly and cover the spread.
Alex, brother, listen, the one thing I will say is the Bills have only lost 1 home playoff game in their entire history, right? So that's, if you're, looking out there to make a parlay, I know the odds probably aren't great, minus 400, but I'm going to throw them in my parlay because, they've only lost once. I just don't know. Listen, it's going to be a back and forth game. I think if Tua's healthy, we're going to see this offense score a lot of points. So if anything, I lean towards the over because, one, we saw the Buffalo Bills defense. They haven't looked good, right? Last week against the Patriots, they scored 2, kickoff return touchdowns. But besides that, it was a 10-point game. The Buffalo Bills before that, they were barely scraping by teams. So I agree. I think the Bills are going to win this game. As far as saying the spread, I'm iffy on that just because I know what I've seen with the Dolphins, right? The Dolphins can score points. With Tua on healthy on their team, we've seen Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, even the run game. Mike McDaniel is an elite mastermind, so we know he's going to scheme some things up for the offensive side. What I will say is I've got a prop for you guys that I absolutely love. Alex, I told you about this a little bit, and Malik, I know I told you about this. I like Dawson Knox to score a touchdown. Dawson Knox has scored a touchdown in each of his past 4 games. And get this, he scored the first touchdown in each of the past 2 wild card games. So when I look at, the Buffalo Bills, they've got a lot on offense, but Dawson Knox has seemed like he's, built a rapport with Josh Allen throughout his entire career. He scored a touchdown in each of the past 4 games, so I like his anytime touchdown. And you know what? I'm a little bit of a degenerate gambler, so I'm going to take the first touchdown score. I'm going to take the first touchdown score. So Dawson Knox, he's my play of the entire week. I'm taking him to score the first touchdown because why the hell not, right?
I want to hear what Alex is. Alex, do you have anything that you like in this game?
I would agree completely with the Dawson Knox touchdown. I've been riding a Dawson Knox touchdown for the past few weeks in all the Bills games, and I am one to love a first touchdown score bet. I love those degenerate bets, and I place a first-time touchdown score on just about every game I watch, and Dawson Knox is when I lay a lot. Now that I hear that the past 2 wild card games, he's also scored a first touchdown score, why not? The odds will be juicy on it. Might as well get rich.
And I'm just not going to go and bet on the Miami Dolphins score first. Listen, the past couple games they haven't, and it's gonna be hectic. I think the Dolphins can score a lot of points, but the Bills are at home. You said, the kind of team of destiny. I think they're going to get up early. The Dolphins can make it a game, but yeah.
You know what's crazy? I think a lot of people are writing off the Miami Dolphins. I really do, and I'm not going to be one of those people. I think the Miami Dolphins might shock. I think that the Miami Dolphins might shock the Buffalo Bills. I really do. I think that this could be an upset pick. And, I like what Kyle Rose's comment in what his comment is in the YouTube section. He says, Bills is a team of destiny. You couldn't script it any better. Media this week have said that hundreds of times Bills' destiny is manufactured by the media. Look, I'm going with the Miami Dolphins this game. I'm going with the Miami Dolphins this game. I think the Miami Dolphins win this game. I think the Miami Dolphins shock some people. That's just my opinion.
So what I will say is I want to add on to the point that you said, people are saying this is a team of destiny. I just don't think that they've looked very good. That's the God's honest truth, right? Josh Allen last game did look healthy, so he looked a little bit better. But when I look at this defense has gotten carved up time and time again.
It's not good.
It's not.
It's not. And I look at what Tua and I look at what Tua and the Miami Dolphins did earlier this season against them. It was literally, Alex had to remind me, it was a shootout. Buffalo won that game by the skin of their teeth. Buffalo has not looked good. Buffalo didn't look good against the Patriots. Buffalo had 2 special team touchdowns, right? And then I guess the Patriots forgot how to tackle on kick returns and things of that nature. If you ask me, I don't think Buffalo has impressed me the last month and a half. To be honest with you, they were getting rolled on by Cincinnati. Now, I'm not saying Cincinnati would have won the game. I'm just saying they were getting rolled on by Cincinnati. They didn't look good against the Patriots, offensively speaking. I mean, Mac Jones threw 3 interceptions. I expect you to win the game. If you throw if a quarterback throws 3 interceptions, right, and you give up 2 return touchdowns, what do you think is going to happen? And the fact that they didn't blow the Patriots out of the water tells me everything that I need to know. I think the Miami Dolphins, this is a prime spot for the taking. The Dolphins are the underdog. The Dolphins are the forgotten team. The Dolphins are the team that everybody is writing off. And if you ask me, I think the Dolphins with Tua back at quarterback, with those receivers that he has in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, can upset. And let's not forget, they also have Gesicki. I don't think that they have answers. Remember, the Bills allow the most yards to any number 1 wide receiver in the league over the span of the last month and a half. So yeah, that's just my take on it. I think the Miami Dolphins can 100% upset the Bills.
I love it. A little bit of a hot take. And just to once again add on to that, if anybody's placing, these Super Bowl winners, placing some money, I just don't know if it's smart to put the Bills, right? And because you look at it, what's their path to victory? What's their path to a Super Bowl? You have to look at, they face a divisional matchup with the Dolphins. Then you have to face the Cincinnati Bengals, who have, proven, obviously, albeit in 7 minutes, they proved that the Bengals can hang. If not, they're better than the Bills. And then you have to go to Arrowhead or a neutral site, play the Chiefs, and then you have to play the Super Bowl. So
I'm going to do you one better, though, because I'm not a person that likes to talk. I'm a person that likes to put my money where my mouth is.
Let's hear this.
I'm putting money on the Miami Dolphins to win this game. I'm putting money on the Miami Dolphins to win this game. Woo! Trust me. I'm putting money on them. Money on the flow. That's what I'm calling it.
Money on the flow. I love it. Listen, we've talked about, on the sit down many times about Tua. I'm glad that you can at least see that this offense, we agree. This offense is going to look damn good against the Bills. You got anything else to add to this?
Yeah, I mean, I do want to say I'm not maybe as behind Tua as either of you two are either. Look, last time we saw Tua throw in against the Green Bay Packers, he had 3 back-to-back turnovers and lost the game for the Dolphins. So I think that there's a good chance that this game is over as soon as it starts. And if the Dolphins get behind in this game, do you think that Buffalo Bills home field advantage is going to let them claw back?
Do not mistake me saying that the Miami Dolphins are going to win this game, or is me saying that I am a Tua supporter? Because I've been the biggest. I've been the one guy that is ridiculed Tua week in and week out. This is me just saying Buffalo has flaws.
They do.
Buffalo has flaws, and I think Miami can expose those flaws. But you want to know why? Because no team in your division can expose the flaws better than a team in your division. And this is the third time that this Miami Dolphins football team is going to be taking on this Buffalo Bills team, and they don't look like the world beaters that they look like earlier in the season. And I think that they could shock the Buffalo Bills. This is an upset spot. You know what this reminds me of? The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Los Angeles Chargers? San Diego Chargers in 2013. Everybody says the Bengals are going to beat the Chargers. The Bengals are going to advance, and the Bengals are home field. The crowd is rocking. Paul Brown Stadium's going crazy. And what happens? Phillip Rivers and them turn back the clock. If you ask me, I think Miami could shock the Bills. That's just my opinion. I'm not. Listen, you know what I said. Betting is legal now in Ohio, and there's no better sports book to bet with than Betfred. And right now, you can get the Miami Dolphins at plus money. And for me, getting Miami at plus when everybody's writing them off, I think that this is a prime spot for the Miami Dolphins. Tell me Tua is not a legend if he doesn't come back in into a starting spot,
1,000%.
beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, knock them off, and advance to the playoffs. Come on, man.
Hey, that helps the Tua agenda, right? So we'll see. I like it. Putting your money where your mouth is. I like it. We're going to switch this over to the Jaguars Chargers. I'm going to start this off. I don't know why everybody's all over the Jaguars. Like, I get it. You know, everybody's buying into the hype. You know, Trevor Lawrence, you know, they're the darlings. They won their division. I like the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to run all over, not literally run, but, you know, going to run all over the Jaguars. And everybody's pointing to, well, the Jaguars whooped them earlier in the year. Well, the Chargers haven't looked as good. Sure, but has Trevor Lawrence looked elite? Let's actually talk about it. He hasn't. He's done what he's needed to do. But I also remember the same Trevor Lawrence that gave the game away in London, that's gave the game away multiple times. So I like the Chargers in this, and you can get them at minus 120 on the Betfred Sportsbook app. Minus 120 for a team with by far and away the better quarterback. So in the playoffs, a lot of times, Alex, I'm going with the better quarterback. I'm taking Herbert. What do you think about the game?
Yeah, I'm hammering the Chargers in this game. Look, Trevor Lawrence, I worry about him in big games. Over and over again, he proves to us that when the moment is the brightest, going back to college, when the moment is the brightest, Trevor Lawrence is wilted. So I don't know. And if you look at last game, they were in a win-or-go-home position against the Tennessee Titans and Josh Dobbs. And and Trevor Lawrence didn't look good. They might have won that game, but Trevor Lawrence did not surprise anyone with his play. His stat line wasn't great. I'm not sure that Trevor Lawrence is just going to go and show out against the Chargers. That being said, Brandon Staley, I don't know what he was thinking. Mike Williams hurt, Bosa hurt because of having them both out in the second half of a game that meant nothing. It's almost like he's trying to get fired. With that being said, I don't know if he can lose this game with the amount of just raw talent that the Chargers have versus the Jaguars. I see this being a touchdown game. Give me the Chargers.
I agree. And you know, Jesse Tyler said underrated component, Peterson versus Staley. I'll take Peterson. Yes, of course, you know, Doug Peterson is the better head coach. It seems like Brandon Staley has blown games multiple times, but I don't think that that's going to play a huge factor into who's going to win this game, right? As you were saying, Trevor Lawrence, I'm not sold on him being an elite quarterback yet. And when I look at them, his first playoff experience, and I've seen him time and time again, that Titans game did not give me confidence. So once again, I'm going to take the better quarterback. I'm going to take the guy with the better weapons, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams.
Listen, man, we're not going to make this more difficult than what it has to be. The Chargers are about to get it back in blood.
Yeah.
Right. People aren't even giving them the Jaguars a chance because they knocked them off. And you don't think that the people in the players in that locker room remember that? Listen, the Chargers right now are the better team. They are, right? They've played a lot longer together, I would say. Justin Herbert is at this point the better quarterback. He has the better weapons to throw to. We don't know the status of Mike Williams just yet. But what I'm telling you guys right now is the Chargers are about to get it back in blood. And let me tell you something right now. I think the Chargers have a good shot. Yeah, I'm about to say it, Alex. I'm about to say it. When they advance, I think the Chargers can knock off the Chiefs. I think the Chargers can knock off the Chiefs.
The thing is, they play the Chiefs close every single
divisional. Why does this
game.
playoff seem like divisional games are components? Why does it feel this way?
Yeah.
Like
it is. It is. And that's the thing. If they win this game, like, don't get me wrong, there's still, Doug Peterson. I get it. Brandon Staley, we have to see him coach in a playoff game. If they beat the Jaguars and have to go to Arrowhead, I like their chances. Divisional matchup. And once again, we saw earlier in this year, what did they do? Justin Herbert played them extremely close. Yes, he blew the game at the end, but they weren't healthy, right? Their only weapon was Austin Eckler.
And it wasn't that when Herbert was coming off of his broken ribs. Like, context matters in a lot of this stuff. And I feel like a lot of people are just becoming victim and prisoners of the moment. No, I'm not going to. No, the Chargers are the better team here. The Chargers are the better team, and the Chargers can beat them, and the Chargers will beat them.
I've got one player prop for you guys for this game. We're going to have a lot more on the YouTube channel, so make sure you guys subscribe. Austin Eckler touchdown, anytime touchdown. He's hit this in 11 of his past 14 games.
Yes.
Like, Austin Eckler, people are going to once again look at, well, he didn't score against the Jaguars the first game. Context matters. They got blown out, and they didn't even care the second half of the game. Take Austin Eckler. It's probably minus 140 on Betfred. I know people are scared of, it's minus, I'm staying away. Listen, in sports betting, you have to place more to win sometimes. It's not always, $5 to win $1 million. That's not how sports betting always works. It's fun, and we're going to do it, but that doesn't mean that's the smart way. So Austin Eckler, if you're looking for any player prop, he's the guy that lock it in. He's going to score a touchdown.
Okay, so we got Austin Eckler, and are we all in agreement that we like the Chargers money line here?
I'd even take -1, like, same thing.
I like that too. Same thing. It don't matter. Look, Jay Herbo is moving on to face those Kansas City Chiefs, where I think he's going to knock those guys off too.
Completely. So we're going to go from one, game with the Chargers and Justin Herbert. I want to talk about the 49ers and Seahawks. Mm-hmm. This is a game where people are, trying to say, well, it's divisional. Geno Smith, I think he can pull something off. I've got my thoughts on this game. I don't think it's going to be close, but who do you got?
Yeah, I don't see this being very close either. Look, a lot of people are higher on the 49ers than I am, but with that being said, I still think that defense is too good for the Seahawks to walk in there and do something. Look, everyone was singing the praises of Geno Smith and the Seahawks offense early in the season. Yep. In the first 6 weeks, they looked unstoppable. Now their run game is kind of slowed down. Geno Smith isn't the phenom that he was at the beginning of the year, and that 49ers defense, I think, is going to feast from the moment the game starts, the moment the game ends. I will lay all the points that I need to and take the 49ers here.
No disrespect to Brock Purdy, because I think he's a fine quarterback. I think he can have a successful NFL career, but they're making Brock Purdy look like he can lead a team to a Super Bowl. And this has happened time and time again. Kyle Shanahan, I don't know what they're cooking up. John Lynch, I don't know what they're doing, but it's working, right?
It's called knowing your quarterback strengths and playing to them. That's what it's called. That's really what it's called. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is literally the epitome of a player's coach. You see it, the way he's able to just adapt, and it doesn't matter who is in there at quarterback for him, whether it's a Jimmy Garoppolo, whoever the case may be, he always finds a way to get the best. So that's just
when you watch the 49ers offense, it's insane how many throws that are made, and it's like a 5-yard out, but then there's no one within 10 yards of the receiver. It's literally insane how the plays are schemed up to where it looks almost easy for the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like it looks like you could throw any NFL quarterback in there and they would lead the team to a win.
What I'm going to say is I think that this team arguably has the best weapons of any team in the NFL. Like when we actually talk about it, the 49ers, the 49ers, the most diverse.
How about this?
How about this?
What are you
the
talking
most
about?
diverse. Listen, the most diverse. When you look at how they score, when you look at how they win,
some of the best.
Listen.
What?
Listen, Christian McCaffrey is a top 5 running back right now. So you got a top 5 running back. He's elite in the pass and in the run game. He gets 8 grabs a game. Deebo Samuel's, can do it from the backfield. Outside as a receiver, you got George Kittle, one of the top 5, top 3 tight ends in the league, and you got another guy like Brandon Ayuk. So when I look at them, like, I stay away from some of these player props because the ball is gonna get spread around. I like Christian McCaffrey to score. He scored in each of his past 6 games, so we know he's gonna get the rock. But when you look at this team and you look at a Seahawks defense that's been garbage, There's no way in hell. And I know people say, well, take plus 10. I don't know if I can take plus 10 with this team that has been rolling all over other teams. So the 49ers, their offense, the defense is the best part of their game, but their offense too, it's looked damn good.
No, I agree, but no, they don't. They don't have the best.
They have one of the best, hands down, one of the best.
I think Kyle Shanahan's a very good football coach who schemes his players very, very well.
Name me can we at least come
they have talented players. Deebo Samuel is great. George Kittle is great. Christian McCaffrey is great.
It's one of the best weapon room in the entire.
Best.
Okay,
that's why I correct.
If I had to say, it's the most diverse in the entire NFL, and I'll stand by that.
Okay. Yeah. I guess we're giving out. Yeah.
What
Alex, Alex, I want to hear your thoughts. Yeah.
I agree with Daniel here. I think they're one of the best weapon tandems in the entire league. I mean, there's no other reason quarterbacks like Brock Purdy would be taking them this far. I mean, I get it. Look, Kyle Shanahan is great. He schemes up his players well, but the reason that it works so well is because he has those players to scheme up. Christian McCaffrey is an absolute dog. I think it might be a slight to give him top 5. I think he's more top 3. Brandon Ayuk is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league to me. I love Brandon Ayuk and what he brings to the table with his route running. Deebo Samuel, I know he hasn't had the crazy, ridiculous year that he had last year, but no one's telling themselves that they're not scared of Deebo Samuel in a game. He is a threat at any time, no matter where he is on the field. Like, they have weapons all around them. No coach is going to make Brock Purdy and all these game managers that they throw in here look like absolute Hall of Famers, like they do.
And this is what you're going to get on this show. You're going to get impromptu debates. You're going to get, am I crazy, guys? Comment down, in the chat. Am I crazy? It might be crazy what I said. I don't know. Comment down. We want to hear what you guys have to say. We're going to continue, and I've got a game that maybe upset central, maybe upset time. We're going with the Giants versus the Vikings.
Yes, sir.
Giants versus the Vikings. This is a game I know Malik, I'm going to give him his props. He's been on this wave the entire year about the New York Giants, and we're going to talk about, what you guys should take in this game. I've got a player prop that is going completely under the radar. I'm going to save this, but Malik, Giants or Vikings?
Come on, man.
What do you got?
I'm going with the New York Football Giants. Come on, man. That's what I'm going with. Brian Daboll, the culture he's building is crazy. He's doing it with lackluster wide receivers. Daniel Jones is confident. Saquon Barkley is confident. The team is confident. Whatever they're sipping in New York, man, yeah, you got to love it. Yeah, the Giants are definitely are going to – I feel like they're upset. I feel like the Vikings are frauds, personally. I don't believe in, what the Vikings have done this season. I mean, it seems like every stiff test they've had, they've sort of shrunk, if you will. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is who he is. We know what he is. And we know the playoffs are prime time, basically, because everyone's watching you. It's not like it's multiple games going on at a time. And we know what happens with Kirk Cousins in prime times. Kirk Cousins shrivels. Kirk Cousins does not live up to the expectations. And it sucks because this Minnesota Vikings team is so talented with TJ Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook, and the list goes on and on and on. It's just a shame that they don't have the quarterback to lead them over the hump. So I'm going with the New York Football Giants. Call me crazy. And we got Gert Pachu in the comment section saying, you guys are smoking. Gert, what are you talking about? Show us your history, bro, and what you're betting. That's what I want to know. We're not listening to you. If we were listening to you, you'd be sitting up here with a show, brother. But Daniel, go ahead.
I love that. And the Vikings will win by 7+. I just don't agree, man. Listen, we saw these two teams match up earlier this year, right? And what happened? I think the Vikings won, but by 3.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. And once again, this is a team, the Giants, they're a gritty football team. So I'm sure as hell not taking them to lose by 7+. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a 7-point game. It's going to be a 3-point game. So I agree. Listen, I am not, like, you guys know, if you guys have watched the sit down, I love, the Vikings. I think that they've built a great roster. Just Kirk Cousins has proven time and time again, he just sells in these big time games. He does.
Always, bro.
And it sucks because they have the weapons. They have it.
Listen, if we're talking about trends, that's a trend that you can follow. Look at Kirk Cousins' primetime record, right? And guess what? The playoffs are prime time. So don't listen to somebody saying, yo, bet the Vikings. Why? What have they shown to make you feel like they can overcome that and get over the hump? They have never shown you that. They've never shown you that.
Yeah, this is easily the hardest game of the week to pick for me. I don't really have a strong lean. If I'm betting the spread here, though, I'm taking the Vikings, if I'm being honest. Look, I'm not high on this Giants team at all.
Yeah,
and Justin Jefferson is actually the game changer. You know, we normally don't talk about receivers. It's normally the quarterbacks that we bring up when we're talking about someone who can will their team to a victory. But I don't know if I've ever, in my entire life of watching football, if I've ever seen a wide receiver change his team the way Justin Jefferson does. Genuinely, he takes over the game, and it's almost impossible to stop him when he's on. For that reason, at home, I'm taking the Vikings. And don't get me wrong, I don't think the Vikings are just the best football team ever. I think their defense is average at best, and they're not going to make some miracle run like they have with all these close wins throughout the season. But I believe that they can hold on and get a close win against the Giants. I might take the money line, the Vikings money line here if I'm betting it. But like I said, it wouldn't shock me too much if they ended up.
Alex, when the Giants win, right? I need you to shotgun a beer.
Oh, that's easy.
And if the Giants lose, I'll shotgun a beer.
That's a deal. That's an easy deal.
That's no problem.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so that's where I stand with it. I think that the Giants can beat the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Minnesota Vikings are frauds. I think everybody, and I understand Justin Jefferson is great. I agree, Justin Jefferson is great. Besides the fact he got strapped up by Jair Alexander, who's the best cornerback in the National Football League, but that's another topic for a different day. I think that the Giants can win. I think that when you get a group of men believing in something and the culture that Brian Dable has set forth in New York, I think, you know, if you've been watching Giants football as long as I have, special things tend to happen when they go on special runs. I don't think the Giants are going to be in the NFC Championship. I don't think the Giants are going to be in Super Bowl. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think the Giants are good enough to beat this Minnesota Vikings team with a serious flaw at quarterback in the name of Kirk Cousins. But if you're looking to start your job, start your career today, there's no better place than First Star Logistics. You want to start your career today as a broker? Make sure you apply to First Star Logistics. We've been out here since September, been partnered with them since August, and they've treated us nothing but like family since we've been here. We've gotten a chance to go to concerts, watch games in the suite. But Akey Woods got to travel to Tampa with some of the First Star employees, and they become some of our brothers here. So, like I said, if you're looking to start your career, make sure you apply to First Star Logistics. There, the culture is second to none. The people, I can't speak, enough good about them and what it's like. Truly, I spend a lot of time here. I probably spend more time here than I do at my actual house. So yeah, looking to start your career today as a broker and you're in Cincinnati, make sure you apply to First Star Logistics.
Listen, Malik, we get to do a lot of cool stuff every single Sunday. We're at the Bengals game, right? This is what we're able to do because of First Star. Where we flew to Tampa, we went to New England to see the Patriots. This is all because of First Star. So, and we're able to sit up on a show, talk about sports betting because of First Star. So, I've got one player prop for the Giants game, and then we got two more NFL games. This is going to throw everybody for a loop, and it's an absolute sharp play. And if this happens, come back to this and call me a genius. Isaiah Hodgins is going to score a touchdown. He is going to score a touchdown. Isaiah Hodgins, if you guys don't know who he is, wide receiver for the Giants. He's absolutely been balling out. He scored a touchdown in 4 of his past 5 games. The Vikings defense, their secondary, garbage. It's garbage, right? And they're playing indoors. Weather's not affecting them. Isaiah Hodgins, I absolutely love it. It's going to be +2 something, maybe even +300. I love this play, and you aren't going to have a lot of people out here telling you to bet on Isaiah Hodgins, but I assure you, I love that play.
And Daniel, there's only one sports book people should be betting with, and that's Betfred Sportsbook. Literally, we have our own different boosts that we put in there too. I could place a phone call to my guy Jay right now and say, you know what, Jay, whatever the Giants are, let's boost it in the Betfred Sportsbook app. And I might
do it right now.
I might actually do that. Because I think that the New York Football Giants are going to beat the Minnesota Vikings. I do believe that, and it wouldn't shock me. Alex, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, like I said, I like the pick though. I've been on Hodgins. I play a little daily fantasy.
Yeah,
and
he's been a stud.
Yeah, he's been winning me some money on daily fantasy. He's always cheap every single week because no one is taking notice to it, but he has been balling. I agree.
So yeah, absolutely love that. And you're not gonna have a lot of people out there, like I said, telling you to take this play. Take this play. Trust us, and we'll have a lot more on our YouTube channel. We've got 2 more games, and I want to go right here in Cincinnati. The Baltimore Ravens are coming to Cincinnati to play them once again. The spread is 6.5. Bengals are favored, and I'm going to start this off. I like the Bengals -6.5. Regardless, take the Bengals money line. Put that in your parlay. They're not going to lose to the Ravens in this game, right? We want to talk about a team of destiny. We want to talk about a team that's pissed off. Let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, right? And you're going to have Ravens fans. You're going to have other people saying, Well, Lamar didn't play last week. Well, Tyler Huntley didn't play last week. Well, the starters didn't play last week. Sure. But what have the Ravens shown you this year to show you that they can win a playoff game? We saw, from the first Star Logistics suite, we saw their receivers drop ball after ball after ball. Respectfully, their receivers suck. When we talk about being on an elite level, they're not there. You've got Mark Andrews, you've got Isaiah Likely, and that's it. And the Bengals, for those of you who don't know, are top 5, top 10 rushing defense in the league. DJ Reader, BJ Hill, they're going to stop the run. So I'm just not confident in the Ravens offense. I know it's probably going to be a closer game than it was, on Sunday, but I'm taking the Bengals -6.5. I love the spread, but for sure, throw the money line in your parlay. They won't disappoint.
Yeah. A lot of people were asking, is Lamar Jackson going to play in this game? Well, I'll tell you, Vegas doesn't have $1 million casinos because they don't know what's going on. The fact that this spread right now is at -6.5, that tells me I really believe that Lamar Jackson's not playing in this game. I think it'll be Tyler Huntley, and I think that the Bengals will end up covering. I know I've taken just about every favorite, but look at the stats. Favorites normally cover on Wildcard Weekend. It just happens. I'm going with the Bengals to cover. I think that there's no way. Look, Joe Burrow didn't look good last week. No one's going to argue he did. Joe Burrow didn't look good. The Bengals and the Ravens, the entire game was weird. It almost looked like both teams were going through the motions. It seemed like both teams knew what was happening. They were ready for next week, and both teams were running really base stuff. There's absolutely no way I see Joe Burrow not being completely locked in on this game, in this playoff game. We know we've watched him the entire time. He rises up in big moments. I think he's going to absolutely shred this Ravens defense, and I think this game's going to be. I don't think this game's going to be close either. I don't see it coming down to the wire.
Listen, I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to show up. I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to show out. And we all agree. I think the Bengals should win this game. I don't think that this is your grandfather's Bengals, your dad's Bengals, where you're expecting them to choke. Everybody sees it happening that way. But I'll tell you a play that I love. I love Jamar Chase anytime touchdown score. I do.
Yeah.
I think Jamar Chase is going to show up big and show out. And he's going to be doing a whole lot of this. Whole lot of this come this Sunday. And I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to absolutely roll.
So, Malik, I want to address a comment. Kurt said, you guys are saying there's no way it happens is enough reason to believe you guys don't watch the games or are new to betting. Let me just make this very clear to you. We've watched every single Bengals game this year.
And we're at every single Bengals game.
We're at every single Bengals game, but this isn't just about the Bengals. We watch football inside and out. We do a live show.
Don't even get, bro. Like I like interacting with people, but we want to interact with positive people, bro. If you want to be negative, let's take that somewhere else. We're not listening to you. Let's keep it going.
Exactly. So I agree with the Jamar Chase, and I've got, something else that I want to add. If his receptions is at 6.5, like it was this past weekend, take the over. He said the over in reception 6.5 in every game against the Ravens in his career and in each of his past 5 games this year. So Jamar Chase, listen, when the lights are the brightest,
always shows up.
He shows up. And once again, we've watched the Bengals enough to where I know when Joe Burrow needs his guy to go to, yes, he's got T. Higgins, but T. Higgins mostly gets his, yards and his receptions throughout the majority of the game. But when it's crunch time, when it's third down, if they go down in the game, when it's the fourth quarter, he goes to Jamar Chase.
There's something that I peeped, though, I want to get to it. I've noticed the Ravens start having Marlon Humphrey trail Jamar Chase. They did it a couple times in the game. Then obviously, when the game got out of hand, they stopped doing it as much. But they were doing it very much early in the game. If Jamar lined up in the slot, Marlon Humphrey would be on him. I think that's a matchup that you can expose. And I think it's one of those things where it could be I think it was a surprise factor the first time Jamar Chase went up against Marlon Humphrey that time inside M&T Bank Stadium where he went absolutely bonkers. But I think that this game could be very, very similar in that regard, in which I do think that Jamar Chase is going to absolutely do great. It's going to be a tough game. I'm not going to sit up here and say the Bengals are going to absolutely blow the Ravens out. It's going to be a tough game. I expect the Bengals to roll, meaning I expect them to answer the call on offense. I do. But it's the divisional game. The Ravens play us very, very tough. They play us extremely, extremely hard. And I say us because if you don't know, yes, I'm an NFL insider. Yes, I'm a part of the media and stuff like that, but I'm also a Bengals fan and I support that team and I make no qualms about that, which is why I'll never apply for credentials for that team. But the fact of the matter is I think that the Bengals can expose that matchup between Marlon Humphrey and Jamar Chase. I also want the Bengals to expose the matchup with the running backs. We saw Joe Mixon have a pretty decent day on catching the ball out of the backfield, and we saw the Ravens had a hard time getting him down. So yeah, if you ask me, man, I think that the Bengals should have a big day.
Completely. And there's one thing you talked about, Joe Mixon.
And I want to clarify something. Kurt Rhodes is asking me. Sounds like you think the Ravens keep it close. So why are you telling people? I've never once said on this show to take the Bengals -7. That is Daniel's take. Me and Daniel see things a little bit differently. I take the Bengals money line, and that's typically where we go as well. I'm going with taking the Bengals money line, and I think it is going to be a close game. Daniel believes the Bengals win by -7. So that's just my thought process.
I'm telling you to lay the points. I'm extremely confident the Bengals win this game by 10+.
Yeah. So like I said, we see it differently, and that's going to happen. You don't want a show where everybody's like in agreement saying, "Hey, we're going to do the exact same thing." I don't see it that way personally, but I do think the Bengals win the game. They see it that way. They think the Bengals win. I'm going to place a call to Jason as well to see if we can actually do this Giants thing. 1 second. Let me put it on speaker. Let's see if he picks up.
He'll pick up.
Hello.
Yo, Jay, it's Malik, bro. We're live on the show.
Malik, how's it going, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. So listen, bro, me and Daniel are sitting, live on the Wrightbet show presented by First Star, and obviously sponsored by Betfred Sportsbook. No better sportsbook out there. And Daniel and me see the game a little bit differently. Daniel believes that the Giants can win, but he's going with the Vikings. I believe the Giants are going to win. I know the Giants right now, if I look at the Betfred Sportsbook, the Giants are +140 in the Betfred Sportsbook. Jay, I'm so confident the Giants are going to win this game. I'm so confident. I believe in the culture that Brian Dable is winning. So I wanted to ask you, do you think we could do a Betfred Sportsbook boost for all the people out there that are listening and tuning into the show right now? If they go on obviously download the Betfred Sportsbook and, they bet the Giants to win this game. You think we could do a Betfred Sportsbook boost?
Yeah, so right now, I think you said, Malik, we're hanging +140 on the money line, right?
Right.
Yeah, so how about this? Now, I'm going to want some skin in the game from you here, so I'm going to challenge you back. I'll tell you what. We will boost the Betfred, the New York Giants,
okay,
to +160 on the money line.
Yeah.
Given the best price in Ohio by a mile on the G-Men.
Okay.
If we give you that, what happens if Daniel's right and the G-Men lose?
Man, what could we do if the Giants lose? What should we do? I have no.
Man. You gotta tell it to me here. You on the spot
so man, you put me on the spot. You put me on the spot. Then damn. What Daniel?
We got some options. If you guys are tuning in, make sure to comment down any option. I mean, you could sit up here and wear a Kirk Cousins jersey to the show.
He's talking about me wearing a Kirk Cousins jersey to the show.
Like that's you might have to wear that with the chains. Rock a little icy Kirk out here.
Man, that dude is corny.
But if
he
wins, though,
dude is corny. So we could boost it to +160. You said, which is the best price, in Ohio by a mile. Nobody else is doing that.
In the country,
best in the country, because everybody's on the Vikings right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the Vikings right. I'm not on the Vikings. I'm on the New York Football Giants. Say it because I'm from the East Coast. Say it because I grew up in New York, New Jersey area. But I like the Giants in this game. I really, really do. So you heard it. You guys hear it. Betfred is the only sports book that you can get the Giants at +160 right now. We're going to be doing a Betfred Sportsbook boost for the New York Football Giants. I called my guy, Jay, and I said, Jay, let's do it because I'm that confident in the New York Football Giants. If I'm wrong, I'll step up on the show with a Kirk Cousins jersey on.
All right, we got a deal. So give me a few minutes, and shortly, everybody listening, all your followers will be able to bet the G-Men at the best price in the country with Betfred at +160.
You guys heard it here first. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate you, bro. See ya. There you have it. Like I said, that's why we partner with Betfred. Place a phone call, get the odds increased for all the followers out there to help you guys make a little bit of money because I'm that confident that the Giants beat the Vikings. We'll see if I'm a loser, if I'm the donkey of the day. We'll see.
I love it. And we'll see if you have to wear a Kirk Cousins jersey up here.
Yeah, but just make sure y'all download the Betfred Sportsbook app. Seriously.
Go download that. And we've got one more game. But before we get to that, if you like the Ravens, right? People are saying, oh, well, I don't think the Bengals are going to do this. Take Joe Mixon over receiving or receptions. Do it. whether you think that the Ravens are going to play it close or you think the Bengals are going to go up by a lot, Joe Mixon is in 70% of the snaps. He is Joe Burrow's check down. If you think the Ravens are going to play him close, it's going to be 3.5. Take the over 3.5. He's the check down. He's going to hit the over. So we've got Monday Night Football. Alex, Buccaneers, Cowboys, and this is one. It seems like America's torn on this. I know I've got my pick, Alex. Please don't tell me you got them boys. Please don't tell me you got them boys winning.
Yeah, honestly, this is a risk your rent bet, a pay your mortgage play, if you will.
Stop that.
I am telling you right now, the Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game and cover. Everyone keeps on talking about, okay, the Cowboys are cursed. They can never win the big games. Can we talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? It looks like Tom Brady's been cursed this year. He is not the same Tom Brady we know. And everyone is gambling on the Bucs because as if it's like some type of fairy tale, they're betting on the fairy tale. It's Tom Brady in the playoffs. What has Tom Brady showed us all season that he's just going to magically change? Talking about the Cowboys are cursed. I think Tom Brady's cursed. Maybe he has the Giselle curse. I don't
Stop.
Look, I don't know what's going on, but look, okay, the Buccaneers are not the same team that we've seen. The defense isn't as good as it was. The offensive line isn't as good as it was. They cannot run the ball. Like, there is no reason you should not be taking the Dallas Cowboys to win. Okay, and I get it.
Did you not see what the Dallas Cowboys did Sunday night against the Washington Commanders and Sam Howell?
Did you not see at the end of the season the Tampa Bay Buccaneers almost gave the division away?
So again, I go with trends. Tom Brady 7-0 against the Dallas Cowboys in his career. Tom Brady 7-0 against the Dallas Cowboys in his career.
Guess what?
Guess what? Mike McCarthy's a choke artist.
I agree with
Mike McCarthy's a choke artist. So you know who I'm going with. I'm going with the GOAT. I'm going with TB12. I don't care if he's married to Giselle or if he's not married to Giselle. I don't care if it's a game in the middle of a field or if it's a game, in Tampa or a game in Dallas or wherever it is. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I believe that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady, when they've been there before, they know what it takes to get it done.
Listen, Alex. So for those of you who don't know, Alex, he used to have a show called The Facts, right? The Facts. Welcome to Factland, Fact fans. I'm going to bring you to Factland right now, Alex. All right. Let's talk about the actual facts. Dak Prescott leads the NFL in interceptions. It's a fact. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they haven't won a Super Bowl in God knows how long. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they are the definition of choke artists. What did they do last year? Last year, they had the game in the palm of their hands. The 49ers handed it to them, and what did they do? They lost the game.
The facts.
So that's a fact. And I understand the Buccaneers haven't looked good. That's the truth. But when you look at, I can't trust Dak Prescott. We want to talk about not trusting Tom Brady. I can't trust Dak Prescott in this game. They should be doing a lot better. And we talked about this on the show yesterday. Dak Prescott's overrated. They've got the weapons. You got two of the best running backs. You got CeeDee Lamb. But I think Dak Prescott's going to blow that game. And you look at the front seven of the Buccaneers, I think they're going to make life a living hell for Dak Prescott. He'll throw 2 picks on Monday night.
Look, every Cowboys quarterback will always be overrated. That's just the way it goes. I'm not saying I'm betting the Cowboys because of Dak Prescott. If anything, I'm betting the Cowboys because of Micah Parsons. He is genuinely a player that I don't know if I've ever seen anyone play like Micah Parsons does, and that's a fact. Genuinely, he is an absolute game wrecker. Tom Brady, if anything, Tom Brady might be the most overrated player in these entire playoffs. This year, Tom Brady has not showed up.
No, that's Geno Smith, but continue.
Tom Brady has not showed up. He genuinely, and the thought of everyone is gambling on a fairy tale. You two are gambling on this fairy tale because it's Tom Brady. It's the playoffs. Tom Brady.
I go with trends.
Tom Brady.
I go with trends.
Yes, and the trend is different this year because every single year when Tom Brady comes in, he doesn't have to fight Sam Darnold and the Panthers to get in.
Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't. Numbers say Tom Brady 7-0 against the Dallas Cowboys in his career. Mic drop. And guess what? Last year, opening day, the Dallas Cowboys took on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa, and the Dallas Cowboys were rolling the entire game. But guess who ended up with the W? Tom Brady and those boys. You want to know why? Because they know, they know when to close.
Once again,
they were able to close. I'm just being honest with you.
This isn't the same team as last
year. No. But listen to me. There's something to it. I do believe that trends are something that we should follow by. And the trends say Tom Brady has not lost to the Dallas Cowboys in his career. I'm just being honest with you. I think that's very, very important to talk about. You keep saying it's a fairy tale or a made up number. It's not a fairy tale made up number. That's real.
Tom Brady isn't the same that he used to be. The he could in 10 years, he could still be playing and he could still have won every game, but he's going to be worse than he was now. Father time takes the toll on everyone.
Sure.
And I'm telling you, Tom Brady isn't the same guy that everyone keeps
Agreed.
acting like he is.
Agreed.
He is
agreed. But it's like what Floyd Mayweather said. Floyd Mayweather said, I'm not the fighter that I was 10 years ago. I'm not the fighter that I was 5 years ago. I'm not the fighter that I was last year, 6 months ago, but I got enough juice in the tank to beat your ass. And I feel the exact same thing for Tom Brady. Tom Brady ain't the same quarterback he was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago. But I think he got enough juice in the tank to beat the Dallas Cowboys, who we sit up on the shows each and every single year and we overrate.
He ain't beat Michael Parsons 7 times.
Okay, we gonna see.
I think we're gonna agree to disagree here, Alex. I'm taking the Buccaneers, man. I'm taking the Buccaneers, and I'm confident in this. This is Monday night, so
Look. You know he's gonna be back in Mississippi.
yeah.
But I'm gonna hit you with a phone call. I'm gonna hit you with a phone call. I just hope you pick up the line.
Oh, I'm gonna call it halftime when the Cowboys.
No. I'm gonna call at the end of the fourth quarter because guess what? The game is 4 quarters. It's not 2 quarters. And the one thing I've learned is never count Tom Brady out. You're absolutely right, Hunter Morse. Never count the GOAT out. You disrespecting the GOAT. Listen, I set up a couple of weeks ago when I said Tom Brady's washed. I said that. And I still think Tom Brady is washed in the sense of what we expect, what his expectations were. You know, he's not living up to those anymore. But I do think Tom Brady has enough in the gas tank to beat the Dallas Cowboys, because the Dallas Cowboys that I saw on Sunday night losing to Sam Howell, letting Sam Howell go up and down the field on them when Dak Prescott had 93 yards entering into the fourth quarter. Come on now. What are we talking about here? They should have benched him for Cooper Rush.
Alex, brother, I'm going to make a bet with
Overrated.
you. I'm going to make a bet with you right now. So if you guys have watched, our shows in the past, that one time, we did something called a shoey.
Oh.
Yeah. Something called a shoey. So we're going to make this bet, and I'm confident, and I'm going to take screw the points. I'm going to take money line. Screw the points. I don't want your 3, your dumb 3 points. I'm taking Buccaneers money line. If the Buccaneers win, you've got to do a shoey. And if the Cowboys win, I'll do a shoey live on the Wrightbet right here in the First Star Logistics studio.
I am so confident. If the Cowboys lose, not only will I do a shoey, I will go and get a 99-cent 40-ounce malt liquor and do it out of the shoey. The Buccaneers are not winning this game.
All right.
Absolutely not.
All right, so all 60 of you guys who are watching this, you guys are going to see this. You're going to see him do a shoey after the Buccaneers win.
Vasa. That's what he's going to call it.
Shoey Vasa. So, and if the Cowboys somehow miraculously do win, I will be a man of my word and I will do it. So
live on the show.
Live right here on the Wrightbet. I'll bring in some sort of a boot or something, and we'll do it live. So
a big boot. So
that pretty much does it for our NFL segment. We've got a couple quick NBA plays for you guys who tail tonight. Right now, it's already 7:48, so I know some of the games have started, but we've got a couple for you guys. And if you guys like this content, make sure you guys subscribe, right? We've got clips coming out every single day, and this isn't our last betting, content for the entire week. We're going to have more parlays. We're going to have more picks for you here on the Sit Down YouTube channel, and we've also got a Patreon that we post picks to as well.
And the link should be in the description as well.
Exactly. So our quick NBA plays, Malik, I know you got a couple, but I've got one parlay or player prop for you. I'm taking Mike Conley, and this is going to sound weird. People are like, what are you doing? I'm taking his under in points, right? 10.5. And this is when people call me a sharp, right? After this play hits, you're going to come back to this and say, damn, he was a sharp. That was a sharp play. The reason why I like this play, Mike Conley has hit the over in 3 of his past 14 games, right? Mike Conley doesn't score. He passes the ball. He gets 7, 8 assists a game. But he's done that. He's cashed the over in only 3 games. Those 3 games were against the Kings, trash defense, or against the Spurs, trash defense, and the Timberwolves, trash defense. Mm-hmm. Today, he faces the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers rank number 1 in opposing, points to opposing point guards. Mike Conley isn't going to score the ball today, right? He's going to get under 10 points. Love his 10. And I think on the Betfred, sportsbook, it might be even 10.5. Mm-hmm. So take Mike Conley under. I love that. And Malik, do you have any money lines?
I've got 2 money lines for you guys to tell tonight. The games have not started because I wouldn't do you dirty like that. I would not do you dirty like that, but I do got 2 for you right here. And here's what the 2 are. I've got the Cleveland Cavaliers minus 140 on the Betfred Sportsbook app. I think you should take them. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are dominant. I expect Spider Mitchell to continue to dominate, Jared Allen to dominate the boards tonight. I know my guy Colton, speaking to the mic, tell the people what you had, man.
I have Jared Allen over 23.5 points and rebounds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like the sound of that. And I'm going with Luka Magic tonight over the Clippers minus 120. To me, that's easy money because Luka, his entire career, has owned the Clippers. For some reason, he hates the Clippers. He plays great against the Clippers. So parlay the Cleveland Cavaliers minus 140 and parlay the Dallas Mavericks minus 120 in the Betfred Sportsbook app. And it's plus 214. Nice little parlay that you bring home on a Tuesday night.
So I've got one last thing to say. And once again, if you guys are watching this, make sure you guys can reach out to us on Twitter, right? Tweet at us during the games, follow First Star Logistics on Twitter as well. But during these games, during the NFL games, you can tweet at us, right? When the Buccaneers game's going on, tweet at us. Say, hey, at Alameda Views, hey, at Wright Report, where's Alex? The Buccaneers are whooping the Cowboys. That's what you guys can do when we're going to interact with you guys. That's what makes it fun. But right now, I'm on the Betfred Sportsbook, and Malik kind of, got my brain churning. Betfred Sportsbook has Luka Doncic over 32.5 points right now. I love that. Right. He has been on fire recently. He said this, I think, in 6 of his past 7 games or 6 of his past 8 games. He's been on fire. Their team's kind of injured a little bit, but they own the Clippers. The Clippers just got washed out by the Nuggets the other night. Take Luka over and take Malik's parlay as well.
And as always, we appreciate you guys for supporting us and tuning in. Tomorrow, we'll be back live, 7 p.m. Same studio, the First Star Logistics studio here in Cincinnati, Ohio, for State of the Jungle, the only Cincinnati all Bengals talk show live from a studio where we answer all your questions. It's truly our interactive show. Me and my co-host Logan will be talking about the Bengals versus Ravens, answering all your questions about the Cincinnati Bengals. Make sure you guys tune in. But the only way you catch that is if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on post notifications. We appreciate you for supporting so much. Give this video a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and as always, show me the money. We'll see you guys next time live on the Wrightbet.